Stooges in a film short called Calling All Curs.
I'm gonna stop it.
How would you like to grow up in this family of Stooges? One of these three women did. Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Joan Howard Maurer.
Number two.
My name is Joan Howard Maurer.
Number three.
My name is Joan Howard Maurer.
Only one of these people is the real Joan Howard Maurer and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our panel. Actor and raconteur Orson Bean. From Santa Barbara, Robin Matson. Voted America's top stand-up comedian, Dennis Wofford. And to tell the truth's very own, Kitty Carlisle. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Burton. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to our show. And good morning, panel.
Good morning, good morning.
Let's get to our first story. This one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Represented by these three women, all of whom claim to be Joan Howard Maurer. Follow along, please, as I read the affidavit. I, Joan Howard Maurer, lived with the famous Three Stooges. My father was Moe, and my uncles were Shemp and Curly. The original Stooges were Moe, Shemp, and Larry Fine. Uncle Curly joined the act in 1933. Moe's spittoon haircut, Larry looking like a scared porcupine, and Curly's shiny bald head would delight millions with head bops, fingers poked in the eyes, and Curly's nyuk nyuk nyuk. At home, Moe was serious and a real family man. Curly, on the other hand, was married 4 times and was the off-screen clown of the group. I have fond memories of Uncle Curly gracefully approaching the diving board, leaping out into space, and doing a pool-emptying cannonball. With all due respect to my father, Moe, and my Uncle Shemp, Curly was the super stooge and has become a cult hero. In fact, superstar Michael Jackson admired him so much, he wrote the foreword of my book entitled Curly. Signed, Joan Howard Maurer. Find out a lot more about this woman who was born into a family of Stooges following this commercial break. This item is going to bring back wonderful memories of my youth. All three of these women claim to be Joan Howard Maurer, whose father and uncles were the Three Stooges. Kitty, you started off for us.
Thank you. Number one, what happened to Larry?
Well, Larry died in 1975.
Number two, your father, Moe, was he with the Stooges all the time?
Yes, he was.
Number three, who invented the act?
Well, originally the stooge idea came from Ted Healy, who had a couple of people as foils, and he took on the two, and ultimately it became the three.
Number two,
Let's go to Dennis for the next question.
Number two, how many children were in your family? Did your dad Moe have?
One other beside myself.
Number one, what's your favorite of the Three Stooges movies?
I have so many. I really have never picked a favorite because they have different meanings for me. So some depending upon the time of the life that the movie was done, and others that just because they were so good.
And number three, what was the last time they worked together as a team?
There was a feature made at Fox, and I'm sorry I'm blanking on the name of it.
Right.
All right, Robin, your question.
Number two, it seems kind of unusual that the three brothers lived together. What were the circumstances under which you all lived in the same house?
We didn't live in the same house.
Oh, I guess I'm taking this too literally then. How about, where was the house located? Where did you live? Where did you grow up?
Different homes, but part of the time in the valley.
Number one, did they work out a lot of different routines in the house? Did they get together and rehearse? And
No, not at the house. They basically, our family life was kept pretty separate from the professional life.
Number three,
Orson will have to
Number
ask the
three,
question.
who invented...
Who invented that?
Curly himself. Curly really was the most imaginative of the three. My dad was the business person.
He was. I love the Three Stooges. Number one, what connection does Joe Besser have with your family?
Well, Joe took Curly's place, Uncle Curly's place, after Uncle Curly had his stroke.
And number two, who was the last bald member of the group?
Joe DeRita.
All right, number three.
Oh, time's up, panel. Fascinating story, isn't it? Fun, too. It's time now for you to vote for the woman you feel is the one who was related to the Three Stooges. Is it number one? Is it number two? Or is it number three? A team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a minimum guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is fooled completely, the team receives $3,000. Kitty, you're smiling. That's great. This whole routine makes us
I
laugh.
loved seeing the Three Stooges. That was brought back such happy memories. They were all very good. I have no idea, but I voted for number two.
All righty. Dennis?
I thought they were also terrific, and I also, like Kitty, have no idea. Kitty's been asking me which questions to ask, by the way, but that's another story. But number one, when she said Uncle Curly, there seemed to be a ring of truth, and so I went with number one.
Number one. All right. Robin?
Number three sounded so familiar with everything. It all seemed to roll off her tongue.
Yeah.
And when she said she couldn't think of the last movie that they were in together, it just seemed very real. So I picked number three.
Okay, a vote for realism. Orson, you're going to break the tie.
I think the movie was The Three Stooges Go to Mars. It was some science fiction picture, wasn't it? Anyway, I voted for number three. She looks like she's got that wacky family background in her eye. Mo is my
find out in
favorite.
a few moments. Right now, let's review the votes. We have one for number one, one for number two, and two for number three. And it's time now to find out which of these ladies is really related to the Three Stooges. And so will the real Joan Howard Maurer please stand up? I think it's number two, and it is, yes. Joan, we'll get back to you in a few moments. Our imposters were terrific. Once again today, 3 incorrect votes. Number one, who are you?
My name is Dolores Raymaker, and I'm an attorney in Torrance, California, doing primarily family law practice.
How did you enjoy this bit? This was fun, wasn't it?
Yes,
Just
it
pretending.
was.
Number three, what about you, ma'am?
My name is Ina Newell Bliss. I'm a former elementary school teacher and an international traveler.
Well, good for you. 3 incorrect votes, as I mentioned, at $500 each. That means the team will receive $1,500. And now, Joan, you mentioned that Curly had been married 4 times, and he was the wild one. We have some film here of one of his weddings. Which wedding was this?
The wedding to the second wife, Elaine Ackerman.
So this goes back to 1939, is it?
Right.
All right, perhaps you can tell us some of the characters that we are seeing.
Oh, we're seeing my grandfather in the middle, and my dad and Shemp to the right. This is the bride is Elaine Ackerman. You see them kissing, her, and Curly is next to her. That's Larry, with his hair combed down rather.
We're not used to seeing him that way.
No, not at all. And there I am, mugging for the camera. And my grandmother, and there I am again.
In spite of all their antics, one last question. In spite of all their antics and all of the rough stuff we have seen on film, you get the impression watching the Three Stooges that there was a lot of love there, was there?
Yes, there really was.
Good, that's nice to know. Well, thank you so much for being with us today and bringing back these wonderful memories.
You're
on To
certainly
Tell the
welcome.
Truth.